So I've been for a ride today, and 2 rides, obviously on the way to work and on the way back. Do my 60 k's, and about 10 k's away from home I broke a spoke today. So I'm just going through the process now of removing that spoke and replacing it with a new one. Thankfully I've got a friend who knows how to maintain his own bike and showed me how to do this a while ago. So that was really helpful. Spoke one's a little bit stubborn. So I'm just twisting it around. Oopsie. So this little spanner I've got here, spoke remover, it's got numbers on it, catered for the different sizes. And I'm trying not to let go of the nipple. It does, it goes into the rim. And it's a little bit of playing around to get it out. There we go. And there's the nipple. Now I'll get the new spoke and thread it through. Okay. Pull that through. And then got to make sure that it's lined up correctly, that it follows the same pattern that the other spokes have. So it goes on the inside, across. That looks about right. Let's do another look. Is it right? So that one's going, so it looks like it's going to go over that one. Yeah, I think that's right. Alright, I'm just going to put this back up on the bike so I can just deal with it a bit easier. Oopsie. I haven't got the cassette back on. Taking the cassette off. That's alright. But I just want to actually have it sitting on here just to make it easier for me to work on. Right, so where is it? Okay, so here's that. And that. So the nipple's right there, and if I get this, it's number 13. So the tricky bit is really getting it getting the first bit of the thread on is the hardest part of this. No, I've got movement there. My gear's failing me. And here it's tightening up. Sort of bend it a little bit just to keep that out at the moment. Yeah, so I had to take the brake off when this happened. Just loosen the brake because of the wheel buckles straight away when you break a spoke. Right. Keep tightening for a bit, so it's reasonably tight. Just making sure I've got everything right here. Should it look like that? Looks like that, yep. Put my brake back on. Just need to make sure that the wheel is sitting correctly in here. In fact, I'll just take it down so I can't lose sight of that. So where it says Shimano, it's the one on the S. So I'm just going to just make sure the wheel's in properly. Yep. Wasn't quite. Put it back here. Right, so now, we're just here. The brake is on, and what I do is I pull the brake pads over against the wheel so they're tight. It's not going to spin. Okay, and then what I do is I just loosen it just a little bit, so there's about a millimetre gap on the left hand side here. Now what I find is it stops. So it stops. Now if I keep pushing it goes free again. And that means that that spoke that I just put on needs to be tightened. So I tighten it a little bit more. And usually just a quarter turns, but this is pretty bad. Still rubbing. Here we go. Okay, now just move the brake over a bit more. Okay, and it's the same spoke again. We know which one it was, so we know which one needs tightening. Okay, it's still not quite. So I do the same thing again. I just keep pushing the brake over the brake pad. It almost touches the wheel. You can hear it just rubbing right there. So again, I get this number 13. Just do a bit of a turn. Still, you can see that it's not quite right. It's getting pretty tight, and I don't want to damage it. I'll just try a little bit more. Just go play around just a little bit with it. And it's not quite there, so just do a tad more. Don't want to over tighten it. And I think that's probably the best I'm going to get it. And put the brake back. That's done. So all I'm going to do now is whip that tyre off, that wheel off again. And put the cassette back on. I'm going to take this off again. And that's basically all it takes to actually change a spoke. So it's a bit of playing around, and like I said, it's not perfect. I'm not really too fussed about it being perfect. I think the wheel, it's probably the end of its life. It's done quite a few kilometres on it. So we'll just make do. So I put this all back together again, and on the cassette there's some little gaps in it so you can see what's going on. So just find the little one, the little groove, put that on, a plastic piece which goes on any old how. Then same thing with this, the little one, and this one here. Where is it? Here we go. Oh. Can't forget the top one. Another one here again. Put it all together. Turn that around. Screw it back in. Don't make it too tight, because if you do, it's too difficult to get off. And there's the cassette on. And we'll put this back through. Now, should be able to put the wheel back on the bike. And it will be good to go again. Now, what I should have done is actually replace 3 spokes. So the one that went and the one on the other side, apparently that's what Shimano says. If you cycle over certain kilometres, it's probably only about 4 or 5 kilometres. I did about 15 kilometres on it. So I only have one spare one. So tomorrow I'll go to the shop and get some more. Then I'll probably replace the one I've just put on as well with a new one, just because of the tensions and what have you, and the fact that I didn't replace the other 2. But it'll probably be okay. I'm not too worried about this wheel at the moment. As far as race day is concerned for the round Taupo challenge, it will be you know, good enough to do the training on, and I'll probably just get a new wheel closer to the time. Like I said, there's done a lot of kilometres on this wheel, and I do break spokes, so it's either rebuild the wheel, which will probably cost more than what I can actually get one of these Shimano R500s for anyway. So yeah. So anyway, that was my experience today. Got another 60k to do tomorrow, so I'll be getting up early in the morning, going off and doing that, so that I'm all good. I will have done what I need to for the week. As I say, I can't cycle for the rest of the week, so I've had to cram in 60 kilometres a day for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So all good, happy days.